Grand Rising, welcome to Healing Hype Man. Message of the day. I'm just going to pull from different decks here. And let's see what message comes out for us. Interested to see the title. Forgiveness, individuality. Wow. Go to nature. Take a walk, have a picnic, lay in the grass, look up at the clouds. I'm going to read you forgiveness here because I talk about that a lot and how we're so critical on ourselves and individuality. We all have our own plan on this earth, and there might be an aspect here. This forgiveness card, let me read this to you, because I always talk about how critical we are in ourselves, and we're each individual beings, and we all have our own destiny and our own plan and our own soul's purpose. And here I like to focus on soul purpose. And there's a little regroup that we're doing here, right? With especially go to nature, take a walk, look up at the clouds, right? There is an aspect here of today's message that we need to ground ourselves and realizing that you're different. And some of you might be beating yourself up with forgiveness here. It has been said forgiveness is the greatest gift we can give others, forgiveness of others, but also forgiveness of self. We are the most critical and judgmental of ourselves. The inner critic does so much harm than criticism from other people. Forgive yourself for trusting others and getting hurt, for not knowing, for not seeing, for not believing. You are human and you are growing and learning. Human perfection is rooted in imperfection. This card indicates the need for forgiveness in a situation asked about. So if you came here looking for guidance or just a message, even if it's about yourself, because I do readings for self, there's an aspect of you that you need to forgive yourself. You need to realize that you are different. If you're dealing with other people, you might be critical, like, why didn't that work out for me? Why didn't that situation work for me? Or, and then there's an aspect of just ground yourself, forgive yourself and ground yourself. And I'm going to spin this in a different direction. You might be seeing that you are different. If you're in the dating scene, if you're at a new job, if you're dealing with people, or you've been with someone for a long time, right? And people change. And I did some shadow readings yesterday that I'm going to post. They were deep. And some of the signs really got aspects of change and seeing change. And are you open to change? And some of you might be seeing that you are really different. You might be feeling a different vibe. You might be like moving different, talking different, acting different. Hierophant, bottom of the deck. Learn. You've learned so much about yourself. Maybe you're learning more about yourself. An aspect of forgiving here. And that is true healing here is when you forgive others for the harm that you did not know about. You did the best you could with the tools you can. And I want to keep prefacing that. We're so critical on ourselves. Our mind can destroy all the good that we have in ourselves. But we are all here for an individual purpose. So let's go ahead and pull some tarot here. Bottom of the deck, why it's all happening. Strength. Rebirth. Wow. Yeah, you've changed. You've changed, my friend. And the Hierophant, you have changed. You have seen lessons. You've learned lessons. And I hope that you're realizing that you are different and that you tick differently. Spiritual beings tick differently. We see things differently. You have had strength, right? Because the word strength is like, do you have enough strength to handle that situation? Do you have enough confidence to handle that situation, right? Confidence is a word that you have, right? Strength is something that you need, right? You need to have in order to do something. So you probably you've gone through a lot of changes in your life, and that took a lot of strength inside of you to push yourself to change, rebirth, right? A whole new version of you here. Transformation is beautiful. You've transformed. You're a different person. You have learned lots of lessons here, right? And I want to preface that maybe in a different context here that life is about learning lessons. Life is about learning your individual path, individuality, learning about your own soul's purpose here on planet. And we might not necessarily know where that's going. We might not always know what direction that's going to, but the aspect here of a lot of strength has been needed for you to forgive yourself, forgive others that have done harm to you, forgive yourself for the harm that you have done to yourself. I never say that someone else did any harm to me in my past that brought me to my spiritual journey. I made those choices in life on my own, and I forgive myself, most importantly, for not knowing what I needed to know at the time of all of my past situations, not the other person. The other person didn't do anything. They're doing their thing, consciously or unconsciously. It's not my problem. That's not my cup of tea to worry about. Two of Pentacles, see where we're going. Two of Swords, the Tower. Wow, we are just dabbling. We're still maneuvering. Bottom of the deck, Three of Pentacles, Ten of Cauldrons, and the Sun. Okay. Right now, at the current moment, we very well could be still in this. We could still be seeing the change. We still could be juggling a lot of bullshit. We still could be in, someone here is still in the drama, still in the change, or still dealing the change, right? But I also want, it doesn't matter what level of change you're at. It does not matter, right? And I want to talk about post-traumatic growth comes from literally, it's like the awakening after traumatic events, and they tend to say that there's an aspect of spirituality, some source of connection to whether it's God or some sort of spiritual power, spirituality, just believing in yourself, believing in energy, that your likelihood to see positive outcomes in your life and see growth in your life comes after a traumatic event or situation in your life. That is clinical research. And some of you very well could be dealing with it here. You're still juggling it back and forth. You're not quite sure what decisions to make. Some of you still have to make decisions on this change here, or you're making them blind. You're not really sure what steps are going to come next. And, I ask you to take the blindfold off. See what you are seeing is what it is. Don't make things up that are not there. Some of you still could be juggling, stability, structure back and forth. I'm not quite sure which decision to go with, not sure which direction to go into. And at the end of the day, the tower is going to fall anyway. As long as you're taking care of yourself and you're making the wise choices to take care of yourself and realize that you've changed, I think that's the first aspect. Commit to, I'm a changed person. I'm going to commit to this new version of myself. And whatever aspect you might be dealing with. Some of you, the tower could be coming down. It could be coming down hard. But let me tell you, right, once we get through that, I love how this was at the bottom afterwards. 3 of Cups with the Sun and 10 of Cups, right? It's like you'll see the collaborative effort with you in the universe. You'll see communities come your way. Some of you might be looking for that spiritual community. Some of you might be looking for just to have a sense of belonging. And I want, today's message, I want you to own that you have changed here. And, your ultimate goal is to be happy. 10 of Cups, 10 of Cauldrons with the Sun. And the energy's here. Some of us still might be stuck in that. Some of us might have had to make choices that we weren't really sure where they were going. But that's part of the change. Uncertainty is part of the change. The lightning is still going to hit the tower. Whether you want it to hit it today, next week, next year, it's still going to come down because the foundation was broken the whole time. So don't act like it was all fine. Something was not fine there, whether it was you or the situation itself. You've changed. You are changing. You are learning lessons here. And it takes a lot of strength, and I'm going to say a lot of balls here to deal with this on a day-to-day, to wake up, to do the daily grind, to not be okay every day, to be worried some days and have to take a pill to go to sleep the next day and wake up late the next day and still push through. And every day is a new day. You're changing every day. Your individual soul purpose is changing, is progressing as long as you're doing things for self on a day-to-day. Forgive yourself. Forgive others and let them go, but forgive yourself for not knowing. My name is Alban Catalan. I am present. I'm done speaking now.